Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Dora and this is my June update to my eyeshadow declutter project pan. I'm really excited to show you my June selection and I'm excited to show you which shadows of my May selection have I been using over the past month. I'm filming this on the 31st of May, by the way. So yeah, this was my last chance with this eye makeup to use the palettes that I had selected for May. So basically the premise of this series is that I am working on 5 palettes each month and I'm trying to rotate through all of the palettes in my collection. And at the end of each month I decide which 2 of the 5 palettes do I want to put on the chopping block. At the end of the year I'm going to be revisiting that chopping block and then I'm going to rescue some of the palettes. Essentially the goal is to help me to declutter eyeshadow palettes, something that I find really difficult, and to have all of my makeup fit into 2 drawers, an everyday makeup drawer and a backup drawer including my nail polishes and eyeshadow palettes without any type of overspill. That's the goal. I started this project in April, so I will be ending up with 18 chopping block palettes at the end of the year, and I think in my intro I said I wanted to rescue up to 10. I don't know. I have to admit, and we'll talk more about like what's, you know, where am I at, what's been going through my head in terms of my eyeshadow collection and projects and whatnot. So far I'm still really finding it hard, but we'll get there. Anyway, lots of thoughts that will come at the end. Right. In terms of my May selection, I always knew this was going to be a difficult month for me because I wanted to select all of my favorite palettes. So out of these 5 here, I'm still not 100%, just like in my last video. In no particular order, let's go through the 5. So I've got here my Essence Welcome to Miami palette. I went into Lilac 4 times. I mean, I'm calling it that because there are no shade names. I went into the more rosy of the cream shadows. This one I used once. The pink shimmer, my favorite shadow in this palette, I used once. I also used this corally satin shadow once and the gold once. Yeah. 10 times I dipped into shadows in here. I think that's not too terrible. However, because I'm so undecided on the other 4, I think this is already, it has to be. This is probably my least favorite out of the selection. So this is my first chopping block palette. The second is the Sweet Pinks by Juvia's Place. Love this palette and I have dipped into some of these. So I've used this pink shimmer here, then the pink sort of fuchsia matte shadow once. The pink shimmer, very fluorescent one underneath it, I've also used once. And I've used this more, slightly more peach matte pink shadow here once. I love this palette as a companion palette. I think that this is not going anywhere, or is it? I'm just not sure. Yeah, there we are. And the third palette is the Revolution Pro New Neutral Smoked palette. I really love this palette as well. And I've used every single shadow in here at least once. I've used the Brown Matte Fortify twice. I've used the gold glitter twice, pressed glitter on my eyes, not my nails. I used Muse 5 times. I'm wearing this as a topper shadow today. I used Deceive, I'm swatching that for you in the previous video, 4 times, and everything else once. Love this palette. Don't think this is going anywhere. And then there's another Revolution palette. This is the Chilled palette, and there are also 18 pans in here. And this is one of my 3 oldest palettes. I can't quite determine which is my actual oldest because it was before I became a panner. I didn't write down when I bought it. Right, I have used Acapulco, this gold shimmer, once. I used Calm 4 times, each time as an inner corner shadow. Very lovely. This brown sativa shimmer I've used 5 times. I adore this shadow. In the outer corner, it's so beautiful. It's really quite like a cool tone brown. I love it. On a smoky eye, so beautiful. And I also used Natural twice. So this is the shadow I've got on my outer corner today. A green satin. Yeah, here's that. This shadow, although I didn't use it, called Burn, is a dupe for the MAC single that I'm using in my eyebrows every single day. And I'm kind of close on it. Obviously, it takes forever to finish eyebrow products, at least for me, the powder ones, you know. So I didn't use it this time around, but I know it's a dupe for it because I went through my entire collection and I found this one and another one in another Revolution palette that are both dupes for that eyebrow shadow. Right, this green is, you know, considering that this palette was probably bought in 2020, I think, so it's about 5 years old, this shadow still works really well. Sativa still works really well. Acapulco is kind of hard pan. It's kind of like a squishy formula. But yeah, and I know that Candyland, because I had this in Expand Those Pans, for example, was quite prone to hard pan as well. So yeah, there are some shadows in here that are definitely showing their age, but then there's others, like the two that I've just pointed out, that are still working super well. And Calm worked really well as well. So I don't know what to do. I really like this palette, and I do like a green look. Fifth palette, this is my newest palette. I bought this for myself, maybe in March or February. This is the Sigma New Mod palette. I know in my last video I kept saying New Mood, it's New Mod. I got confused because I had the Beauty Bay New Mood palette in the selection as well from April. I really enjoyed working with this palette. I wore it on my birthday and at my birthday party as well. I really like the formula in here. The matte shadows blend out really well, super elegantly. It just, yeah, I love it. It's so nice. I used the shadow Haute 3 times, so it's a shimmer. This was just an inner corner type of shadow. Posh, this shimmer here, oh, so beautiful. I used that once. New Mod I used twice. A really pretty matte shadow. Avant-Garde next to it I used twice. Street Style, this darker, deeper matte shadow I used twice. And then Voguish, another deeper, not too deep. I think I used it to blend out the crease probably. Voguish, I used that twice. Yeah, this is not going anywhere. I mean, it's my latest, newest palette. I spent loads of time going through all of the palettes that I was interested in, and in the end only selecting one of them. And this one, yeah, I love it. I really like it. So yeah, definitely not this one on the chopping block. Already the Essence for sure. And now it's really hard for me. I don't think I'm getting rid of the Revolution Pro Smoke palette because I just love it so much. So it really is between these two now. Also, I 100% think that whatever I pick this month is going to be rescued. But yeah, this pink palette just makes me happy. I love a pink look. I love it. I love adding pink to looks. I love doing that in the spring summer season. I think it's really unique in my collection in that sense, even though I do have a lot of pink shadows. I think it's such a great companion palette. And I'm also not ready to part with this one yet either. I think it's so versatile because, yeah, brow bone shadow, inner corner. I've got like everything in here and loads of favorites in here. I could see myself panning this. Not a pan that palette, but I could see myself picking individual shadows out to help me to go through my Pan That palette. Not necessarily this year's Pan That palette, but maybe future Pan That palettes to pan looks. So it's like choosing between your pets, so I don't know. Well, I can't. I think I'm just gonna put this one on the chopping block, but I think it's actually not going anywhere. But yeah, this is my selection. If I change my mind, I will let you know at the end of the video. All right, but let's look at my June selection now. So first up is the XX Revolution Sugar Baby palette. If you're not new here, you've seen this many times recently because this is in Deck of Panning. 6 shadows in here. Even though I am a little burnt out on purple, I still think that there are different types of purple in here that I'm actually looking forward to using. And there's just, you know, 6 shadows in here. So I'm trying to do No Pan Left Behind in Deck of Panning. I'm not trying to do No Pan Left Behind in this project, but yeah, I will be doing it on this palette, of course. So I think that's good. And then I wanted to pick another No Pan Left Behind palette from Deck of Panning. I got the Joker. This is the Colored Raine Queen of Hearts palette. There are 12 shadows in here. I did think for a moment, should this be my Pan That palette 2025? But then was like, no, I like it so much. I want to hold on to it. I think there's some really beautiful shadows in here, and I'm really looking forward to using this palette. And I do also want to try and create as much as possible, maybe as a little side goal for next update, to try and do looks with the palettes exclusively, like I've been doing with the Sigma new mod. Looking at those two color stories together, I wanted to pick out something green, and I also wanted to pick out something pink to join my selection. So sticking with the green and teals, I am picking the BH Cosmetics Doja Cat Visions palette. Stunning formula, really pretty color story, lots of blue, lots of green, lots of mint and teal in here, mattes and shimmers. I'm excited about using this, and I'm not sure if I've dipped into all of these shadows yet before. I may have done, but it's been a really long time. So yeah, I can't wait to use this one as well. And then because I did want pinks, I am now picking the Revolution Pro Rockstar Noir Edition palette. This is a favorite in terms of the color story, just for me to look at it. Like, I love this. And I have a pressed glitter in here, which is quite important for me to have throughout like spring, summer. And another pressed glitter here. So Drama and Harmony are both pressed glitters. And there's a lot of pink in here too. And I like these more green leaning golds as well. So I'm looking forward to using this. Very excited because I've never done a No Pan Left Behind on this one. Not that I necessarily will, but I'm excited to just try out more of the shadows that I've never touched before. And I'm excited to swatch them because even though you're seeing the swatches, I haven't done that bit yet. And that always helps me in terms of the formula as well, which is obviously another factor when it comes to me choosing my chopping block palettes. Final palette, another Revolution palette with pops of purple, pink, and just about anything. Oh, and I picked it for my favorite shadow in there as well. And this is probably my favorite shadow in my entire collection as far as pinks are concerned. This is the Revolution Constellation palette, super old. I don't know whether I bought the Constellation or the Chilled palette, the green one that I just showed you from my May selection, which one I got first. Maybe I got them the same day. It's possible. Lots of pans that I've hit in here, 8 in total. And so other than Pan That palettes, this is my most panned palette. Yeah. This shadow I absolutely adore. Dimension. It's such a beautiful pink shifting to purple. And look at that next to the green as well. I love it. I like Venus, the neon pink matte shadow as well, quite a bit. Yeah, I think it could be fun to like try and work on, oh, now you can see this one. Try and work on expanding some of the pans as well. Yeah, I'm less sure about like the red ones. Jupiter, Mars, not favorites. And Neptune, this is probably a too electric of a blue for me, but I can always mix it up a little bit. And I do enjoy doing that. I like the creativity that this sparks. So excited about using this one as well. Predictions in terms of chopping block, I have no idea. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, and now I just want to update you a little bit in terms of where am I with all of my eyeshadow palettes, with my collection, what's been going on, has anything changed yet since I have started this project and since I've ended a ton of other eyeshadow projects. I really thought initially that I was going to get major FOMO about quitting Pan Those Eyeshadows and Project Level Up specifically. And that did definitely happen at the beginning, and then I started planning for, because you know, it's what I do. I started to think about like, oh, once this project here is done, how can I reincorporate some of those eyeshadow projects into my panning game without overwhelming myself? And I thought I had a solution, and then I looked at it again maybe a week later and I thought, no, stop it, what are you doing? This is just too much. Right now, the only thing I'm interested in or the main thing I'm interested in when it comes to my eyeshadows is pan that palette, because I want to work shadows and palettes out of my collection. This is my main focus. And then my second biggest focus is that I would like to get to know my collection better. So I'm sort of like also maybe in the back of my head, and I feel like I've had at least a conversation with Stone about this in the comments. I'm sort of working towards being able to do a no pan left behind on my entire collection. I can't do that right now because, or I couldn't before, because I was doing so many different eyeshadow projects and I never felt I had the time to really work with an entire palette. Yeah, here and there, you know, that's why like Project Level Up really made sense, but it's just such a slow process then. Once I have fewer palettes, that would work. But I think, here's the thing, this is what I have noticed recently, and this is where I had a huge insight. Now that the pressure of all of the different eyeshadow projects has come off because I have quit so many of them, the biggest pressure is time. And even with Pan That Palette, or with a potential no pan left behind, it's the time frame of I have to do this within a year, from January 1st to 31st of December. That just freaks me out. And I know that's overwhelming for me, and I don't want to do that anymore. And that was a huge insight for me. Yes, I want to do Pan That Palette once I finish my current one, and I want to do no pan left behind on everything that I've still got left. Open-ended. This is going to be my way forward, and it might take time, and I think that's okay. I don't have to put that pressure on me to do everything within 12 months. In terms of the declutters, okay, so I started this in April. I've got my 2 chopping block palettes for April. I am ready to let go of both of those. I have not regretted that decision to put those 2 palettes on the chopping block, and I haven't. Even thinking of them now, I don't feel like there's necessarily any specific shadow in there even where I'd be like, oh, I need to save that. I need to press it into my singles collection, whatever. I'm not interested. And I've got 2 friends, well, a family member and a friend in mind who I would like to offer these palettes to. And if they would like them, they can have them. And I don't think I'm going to wait until December for that. And I'm probably going to ask them in June, and that's fine. So if these 2 palettes, maybe just one of them, who knows, if they leave my collection already, I'm happy with that. So that's great. I'm pleased with that. The other thing is though, yeah, I think my May selection threw a bit of a spanner into the works because I picked such lovely palettes for me and I'm finding it hard. So yeah, and then there's another part of me that thinks, oh, but if I can pan my other makeup a lot faster, I'm kind of doing all right at the minute with my 25 and 2025, for example. Still a lot of products left, but I feel like I'm getting somewhere. So maybe if I can squeeze all of my backups into my eyeshadow palette drawer and my nail polish drawer, maybe there's a chance I could squeeze more palettes in still. That's a hope of mine. And not declutter, what did I say? 8 palettes at least, yeah. But then there's another part of me that thinks, if I'm actually really wanting to pan my entire eyeshadow collection, then as many palettes as I've currently got is just way too many, yeah. And I think it's a good thing to let go of some of them. So yeah, this is where I am right now. There's a lot going through my head. I'm enjoying this project. Sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I wish it would just sort of go faster and I could move on and maybe wrap this project up and just declutter what needs to be decluttered and then sort of move into the next phase. But yeah, I think a couple of changes, or one change. I'm going to end one other eyeshadow project. That would be my next video actually, that will go up, so you'll find out about that. I think it makes sense, and then I'll be down to 2 eyeshadow projects plus the eyeshadow declutter project pan, and I think that's enough. Oh, also my Build Your Own palette, the singles that I want to work on every month, I update you on those in my Pan That Palette updates because that's combined with a Build Your Own palette. So that's there. I'll talk to you about it there. So one more eyeshadow project is leaving. So, you know, this is speaking to the FOMO. That isn't happening. I've got a newly found joy of missing out on projects. Thank you so much for all of your support, for listening to me all the way until the end. I really hope you'll subscribe if you haven't done so already. And other than that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And I'm sending you so much love. Take care. Bye.